Mental note. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, pencil. There might be a message here that you would like to write down. So go ahead and grab it and sit your ass down. There was a quirky way of saying that, sit your ass down, and the pun was intended. If there's a lack of fun in your life, then you might as well have some fun with it. Now fold the piece of paper in half and make a little fold in the corner. It's going to be your starting point. I had to close the window. There were some noises outside. Let me continue. This will be your starting point. As of now, you draw a line in the middle of the page, right horizontally along the page. That's where you mark your starting point on the left, and you'll see this line as your base point, baseline. It's interesting to note where you have placed your starting point. You can play with that starting point and also note why you have placed it there. There's an in-between, there's a fine line in between. Once you've marked your starting point at the left, you now continue all the way to the right, however energetically or physically, however you prefer. The energy increases and decreases all over the baseline, depending on what activity you do or what job you do. It might be neutral in the middle, where you've drawn your baseline and you go up and down over that line, depending on whichever job you do. Job meaning different activities within a working day, together forming a job, a title, a description for the activities you do during the day. And note there is a fine lining in between the middle and the end of the job description. There is a fine line between the job description and you. A fine line. Just like that baseline, there is a fine line. The activities you do depending on your mood in the present moment, define your presence on the baseline, whichever location on the baseline, the line you've just drawn on your piece of paper. Mark it down and note where you've marked down. What does it mean to you to mark it down there at that point? I'm closing my eyes a lot since my brain has so much to say about this whole exercise. So it helps me focus more. Thank you for your patience. I'm really trying to be on that baseline. Now now continue. Note where you've marked your point. Depending on the activities you do, depending on the mood you're in, the present moment allows for your quality of presence in the here and now moment, your location on that baseline. Now you can fumble around a bit on this line, see it as a practice. As if you would walk around during your day-to-day activities, holding your energetic presence accountable in the here and now moment. It is kind of a mental exercise. However, it's an exercise for all of your senses or qualities at whichever level you might see yourself at. So you take with you your mental space, your emotional space, your spiritual space, your even physical, but then physical still in the mental realm. You walk around in an astral space while doing this exercise. You now cross this line. You now cross this line based on your mental activities during the day, and you trace a line like so. Might be going up, might be going down. I was tracing it up. And you take with you your energetic presence when you mentally practice this walking of that line. When you leave the baseline, you cross the baseline. You take your energetic body with you. And you start to notice, what is it that I am sensing? Sensing in, there comes the physical part, my body. You get your bodily awareness with you there. What is it that I am sensing in my body when I trace this line all the way up there, where you would reach the end point of that line, the point where you can take it no further. While you walk along that line, mentally notice your senses, notice your physical contractions, your physical posture, your breath, the pace of your breath, the location of your breath. And now let go and switch it up back to your starting point. You take another activity in your mind and you trace another line like so. Might be going down or up, whatever you prefer, what resonates with your activity. And then follow that line. Notice your energetic presence in the room. The contractions, the expansion, the heightened awareness, the amount of physical presence in your body. We lay the groundwork for holding firm energetic presence, holding energetic presence to the baseline while walking our day-to-day life as we do while doing our jobs. We practice walking our baseline and we notice when we trip off the baseline what exciting adventures we are taking when we are taking the scenic route. And we practice coming back to the baseline with every step we take. When we notice, we have the power to return back to the present moment, to our baseline. If we know what the baseline feels like, talks like, walks like, acts like, behaves like, we know enough to ground back in our baseline. It's a simple exercise, yet profoundly exquisite. It's like building a masterpiece of a practiced masterpiece of life, of navigating life, day-to-day life, the mundane, through the abstract. We practice our mundane presence. With abstract practice, we master the mundane. That was a message with a lot of resistance. However, I hope it came across correctly and you will get some benefit out of it. Thank you for watching and thank you for your presence. And we hope to see you next time. Bye.